Hello, everybody. Drew here. Tip of the Mitt flips where every 100 subscribers, there's a giveaway. I forgot my whole intro. I can't start over now. It's live. Trying to stay warm in northern Michigan. Not super easy. Of course, let people trickle in a little bit. If you have any questions, fire them away in the chat. I'm going to be very short today. I say that every time, but for sure, because I've been sitting in this chair since like 8 o'clock this morning. And I can't do it anymore. But I already scheduled a live, so here I am. I don't want to worry anybody with the title of the live today. I just would like some assistance. I'm about to start making some how-to videos, and I would like to just brainstorm some ideas with you guys. If you have any how-to ideas or which ones would make the most sense. Kathy Black, how you doing? Packing videos are the one that I probably am gonna make. But if you think it'd be better to do like the intricacies of actual eBay platform listing, going through how I come up with prices, any of those things, I don't know which one is going to be most beneficial to everyone / get the most views, because that also matters to me. If you don't know by now, I do care about that. So if you have any videos you would like to see in that vein, let me know. And if you think of one later on, drop it in any video. Just drop a comment in any video, and I will, of course, get it. And I'm hoping to start making those maybe beginning of next week. So I'd like to make some more evergreen videos, what they call it, where people might actually be searching it, because my videos, they get what they get, and then that's the end for them. Every once in a while one will pick back up, or I'll have like my live Rolling with the Stones. How you doing? Not my live. I had a short that it like went moonshot as soon as I put it out. I robbed it from Mod and Pop Thrift. I just talked about Sega Genesis in one of my videos, made it into a short, and then put it out, and it just moonshot in the first like seconds it was out, and then flatlined, and then the next day like quadruple moonshot. It was pretty cool, but it was so weird to watch the chart just be like, to the moon, nothing, to the moon, absolutely nothing. It was going from like 100 views a second to 0. Gil, I would like to see a video on adding a video to the eBay listing. All right. I do, if you need it right now, I do have a video in my how-to section on how to do that outside of how eBay does it. When you have to do like the HTML. But I'll make a dedicated video just to that. That's actually a really good idea. Doing it both ways and the benefits of both of them. And the downsides of both of them. The downside of using eBay is that it takes sometimes multiple days for them to approve it. And for me, the upside of using HTML is if I put it on my YouTube channel, it's just free views for some randomness that, if I ever put one up there and it just looks like a video of a thing, that's what it is. So you don't have to watch it. Other people will eventually. Vids in listings. Rolling with the Stone. Speaking of adding videos to your listings, one of my demo videos went viral for no reason. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Shed flips. I talk about him all the time, but Lonnie, he just did a video the other day where he said it was his secret money maker, but it's just because he puts those videos on his YouTube channel, and over time, people just watch them. And most of them are short enough that they end up being a short. So I don't know how that ties in with it, but for me, that's just free money for doing my job already. So I tried out using eBay. It's easier, quicker to put the video in, but it's a delay, 48 hours till they approve it. And I actually am never going to go back and check to make sure they approved it. So William Simmons, how you doing? Emily Johnson, hey. Is it cold at your house? You have gloves on. Yes. I mean, that's my sister. You've been here. It's cold. Yeah. And I'm cheap. So that's a combo. And the kids aren't here today, so I turn the heat down when they're not here, because then they don't complain to me about how cold it is. Dark Toy Lord, I linked a video for a Star Trek Enterprise I sold. I wanted to show the lights and sound working. Toy is long gone, but video's still up there on YouTube. Yeah, and you never know, 20 years from now, if your channel ever gets monetized or something, that video might be generating money just for some randomness that you happen to put out there. I was like hesitant because I was like, oh, it might mess with the algorithm. Whatever. YouTube's algorithm's smarter than I am. They'll figure it out. William Simmons, his name. Yeah, I got to cover up my painted nails. I don't want to show that off. But no, it's super cold. I have a 120-something-year-old house. It's drafty. When the wind blows, there is a breeze that comes through my house. And I slowly, over every year, that becomes less and less. I find a place like, oh, there's a breeze here. Let me do some more insulating. Let me do some caulk, blah, blah, blah. Cover a window, replace a thing. And it's slowly getting better. But when I first got this house, if the wind blew, it would literally like move things. I'm showing you like you can see over there. Jody Cardinal, I was wondering why the gloves don't need them. Yeah, you don't gotta rub it in, Jody. Okay, yeah, you don't need them there. And today was like, and it wasn't like terrible, but it poured. It was just, that's the worst because then like the cold like sets into your body, like gets into your bones. And like I said, I've been sitting here since 8 o'clock, so I'm not like moving around warming up. I don't want to complain too much, but it's just been miserable. I went through and because I don't know. I've seen other people. I try not to go on and on about sales and the roller coaster and the up and down and the low sales and all that kind of stuff because whatever. But I guess that is kind of what I do. But this weekend I had 3 sales and none of them were over $20. From Friday afternoon till Monday morning, I had 3 sales. So I'm figuring it out. Well, that's why I spent all day on the computer. I went through another 500 listings, removed 10, 15, something like that. Stuff that just, it's not worth even being in the store, or I'm going to put on local marketplace, and then repriced a ton of stuff, just a ton of stuff that was overpriced by like 100%. So there's never a sale I'm going to run. There's never, an amount of other listings that are going to sell for it to get to mine. Either the market changed or the listing was just an error in the first place or just bad research in the first place. Whatever it was, I went through and was fixing every single listing, fixing a bunch of title errors, just cleaning stuff up. If the listing didn't look that good, I just redid it. I always like to capitalize the first letter of each word. It just looks good. But some listings would have like a mix, like some lowercase, some upper. So I fixed all that. I removed, just today, I removed like $700 in value from the store. But I only removed, physically removed from the store, like $50 in value. So that was all $700 in just repricing. So that hopefully over the next couple days or next couple weeks, some of that will start paying off where things were just in the store that weren't going to sell the way they were set up. So hopefully that fixes a lot of that because it's not really good right now. And those boat parts aren't going to fly off the shelves. I'm so stoked with that buy. Beyond happy. It's going to be so much money, but it's going to take 10 years. Let me see what else we got here though. JP, how's it going? One item I have is like a water removing fuel filter. There was 54 of them, and I'll make $10 in profit each, but the sell-through rate tells me it's going to take 4 to 6 years to sell through those. But I paid $280 for the whole thing. So I don't care if I literally don't care if it takes 10 years. I want to get them all listed quickly, but I'm also simultaneously trying to clean up the store. And it's one of those things where I want them listed quickly, but I also need to be putting stuff in the store that's actually going to sell over the next 2 to 3 months. Yes, I am cheap. Yes, You don't have to call it something else besides like resourceful or not. No, I am cheap. I am cheap. That is how I afforded the things in my life without making a ton of money, because I am cheap. I have, at this point, I have paid for a haircut less years of my life than I have not paid for a haircut. Does that make sense? I got to be like 20 and was like, I'm just sick of this $18 to $25 every 2 weeks. This is a bummer. I cut my own hair for like 2 decades. I am cheap. JP, wondering if you'd take the time to count pieces to a board game with 800 pieces. How would you list it if you didn't count all the pieces? That 100% would be determined on how much the item is worth if it's all there. If it's a $100 game set, I 100% would count all the pieces. If it's $25, not a chance. I would probably lay it all out, list it as might be complete, partially complete. That would be a good one to add a video to the listing, because you could lay out all the pieces and do it like a very slow pan so that someone could actually go through who cared and wanted to. But if you're not going to go through the trouble of counting all the pieces, you will have to give a significant discount, like way, way below what it might be worth if it's all there. I'm guessing it's like a Warhammer game or something like that. Andy So Meta, how's it going? Let's see, Jody Cardinal, hit the like button when repricing. Oh, hit the like button, period. Yeah, okay. Yeah, hit the like button, everybody. When repricing, do you use eBay's research prices part of the listings page? No, I don't let eBay, outside of the information I can find on eBay, I don't let eBay influence how I do my listing at all. I don't want them to tell me what a suggested promoted is. I don't want them to tell me a suggested price. Definitely not when you're making the listing and it'll say like the median price or the suggested price. And it used to, but I don't think it's still doing it. I think they switched it, or maybe it's because I've been on the PC lately and not my phone, where it would give you like the last 3 or 4 that have sold. I don't use any of that information. I go to the sold comps. I use that. If I need to go back further, I go to TerraPeak and I use actual sold comps and I make my own decision. eBay doesn't, they of course want to make more money, but they care if their business is successful. They mildly care if your business is successful because of the overall success of eBay. But all of us in here, anybody that watches this video, we are very small fish in the overall scheme of eBay. So how much they care about our individual listings is next to zero. The Lego Bug. Hey, my friend, great to see you. Lego Bug, how's it going? Actually, eBay's quarterly earnings is tomorrow after the close of the stock market. I was going to think about maybe like live streaming while it was going on, but it would be so boring. It's going to be so boring for me anyways. So, but I'm going to listen to the whole thing. And then that'll probably be the topic of next week's live, because I have a theory on, because I've heard from a lot of people, promoted listing has been less useful lately, where it's just not generating the sales it used to. And I have a theory that, because when large companies need to cut costs, one of the first things they cut out is advertising dollars. And so if they're not spending money, because I know promoted within eBay, it pushes you up in the listings and stuff like that, but promoted outside of eBay, as far as external advertising, if they're reducing their budget on how much they're spending on external advertising with your listings, then that of course would reduce how useful promoted listings is. I actually, because this weekend was just non-existent for sales, I turned my promoted off. I said, they can't get any money from zero. So I was like, whatever, it's not doing me any good right now. The extra percentage of the few sales I'm getting, I could use that money instead of giving it to somebody else. So it's not really making me any more money. And then as I was repricing stuff, I would notice that because I would go back and I would see like my listing, or I'd search the other listings and I would see mine in the queue. And I was noticing it wasn't really helpful on where it was positioning me either in the overall scheme of like where they were landing in the search. And I don't do close. So most of the stuff I sell, someone is looking for. They're going to type it into the search bar and look for the item, and most likely buy the cheapest one from the best seller. That's how I shop. I find the cheapest price, and then the 2 or 3 cheapest prices, I find the best seller, the one that seems the most likely to get me my item safely and the way I ordered it. Let's see. Nick M. Yeah, same here. Bought like 2-3 pair of clippers or so. One of those was Goodwill too. Yeah, I bought as far as haircuts, I bought like a $20 pair of cutters. That was it. Never paid for a haircut again until like, what was it? Last week I got a haircut because I was going to a wedding. And then you guys saw I always wear a hat. And then in that one video, I didn't wear a hat. And when I was editing, I wanted to cry. Sometime over the last year or so, I went bald. So I was like, I'll just wear a hat always, forever. Dark Toy Lord, I either cut my own hair or I don't cut it at all. It's been 2 years since my last cut. I was able to dress up as Eric Draven for Halloween without needing a wig. Yeah, I saw your post on Instagram. It was pretty spot on. Now I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but we got a celebrity in the house. Nip Drop Flips, which is Ford Pinto backwards. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Emily Johnson, eBay suggested prices are no bueno. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's just automated how it comes up with it, but it probably just populates like the last 3 sold listings. And depending on what you're selling, that range could be so huge, especially like if it's seasonal. There's just so many factors that I wouldn't trust an automated system to figure that out for me. JP, Axis and Allies. We sold one for $30 and it's missing a few, so we have to do a refund. Oh, bummer. Yeah, if I'm unsure, I would put, this is something I put if I am sure it's missing pieces, or if I'm unsure if there's like maybe a little something, I'll put in the title, I'll put 99% complete. And then in the description, I'll put possibly complete, I don't know, buy at your own risk. And then even in the title, I'll put like asterisks around like 99% complete, because people don't read descriptions. But the more you can do to help yourself in those cases, the better off you are. But still, you're putting a lot of trust in a buyer to actually look at anything besides the first 3 words of the title and the price. William Simmons, I passed the 100 items sold mark over the weekend. Been averaging 20 sold per month. Off to a good start this month. 6 so far. 100 items sold. That's awesome. That's a huge milestone. Huge. And then before you know it, you'll hit that 1,000. Andy Someta saying hi to Richard. The 405 picker. Hello, 405 picker. Jody Cardinal. Wasn't that exciting? Oh, just congratulations. Dark Toiler talking about promoted listings. Weirdest thing, I was browsing my Facebook feed and saw an ad that was one of my eBay listings. Yes, that's what I mean. Those off-site promoted, that's paid advertising from eBay. They have to pay to get that on Facebook. So if they've reduced how much money they're paying in advertising, then promoted is going to be less useful because there will be less places that they're putting it out to. And I don't know that for a fact. Like I said, I will know that for a fact tomorrow. Once I listen to the earnings call, they'll say how much they've spent in advertising. And if there's a significant drop off, that would indicate that's why promoted is kind of dropping off. Because if you look at promoted on your in your seller hub, you'll see it. It's every chart I've seen. It's just promoted sales dwindling, dwindling, dwindling. I heard who was I watching today? Commonwealth. He was saying that he thinks it's because everyone's having slow sales, and so the pool of promoted listers is growing, and so therefore you're competing against more people, which could be also true. All these things could be simultaneously true at the same time. That's what simultaneous means, Drew. Come on. And just to anybody that popped in a little later, I had the title as like I need your help. I'm about to start doing some how-to videos, and I want to know what's going to be the best ones to start with. Any of them that you're specifically looking for. I mean, they're not going to come out right away, but stuff that's you could use a little more help with. Drop those in, or drop the comments into any video, and I'll of course see it, and I can put it on the list and start working through them. Gil, can I change my store name without causing any problems? I created it, naming it after my LLC, but that doesn't have a nice store name ring to it. Yes, you can. I only know this because I did it. There are, like, I changed my store name, but yet there's still, like, I don't remember where it is, but somewhere I still see the old store name. I don't know if it's maybe it's my URL link or something still references my old store name. But yes, you can change it. That's not a problem. William Simmons, thanks, Jody. I do. Nick M, don't promote parts listings. People slam into those and don't read description condition, in my opinion. Yeah. I will die on the hill that buyers do not read descriptions. Period. The percentage that does is so low that it probably doesn't matter. I am in that percentage. I will read the description every time. I look at their feedback every time. But that's because I am on eBay. And I was talking about this with my dad the other day because I was so shocked about how well I was doing on, starting to warm up here, good, on local marketplace. And I was getting roughly the same amount of money I would get on eBay minus, I would price it minus shipping, minus fees, so that it was comparable as far as my profits. And then I was like, oh yeah, before I sold on eBay, I bought something on eBay a total of 0 times. Big old goose egg. And I lived in a house with someone who was selling on eBay and Yahoo auctions back in the day. Still never went on the platform to buy things ever. And this is, further back. But I always assume, because I'm so entrenched in eBay, that everybody also buys on eBay. But a lot of people just, they don't, there's more people used to the Amazon model. So that's why they definitely don't go deeper into descriptions, because they're like, oh, if it doesn't fit or I don't like it, I just need the money again, I'll just return it. Who cares? Jan Good, do you know of any resellers in Northern Virginia? Already check with Commonwealth Picker and OTY. I'm not sure who that is. Let me see if I can figure it out. OTY. Nope. You have to let me know who that one is. But anybody got any Northern Virginia resellers? Drop them in the comments for Jan. Eric D, look at the big brain on Brad. Yes. I haven't watched a movie in a long time, and I would like to. I have so much trouble just sitting down and doing nothing. It's always like on the side, but I would like to sit down and watch a movie. I don't know if I could make it through a new movie. It's like I have to watch a classic. So that might happen pretty soon. Some Pulp Fiction. Actually, definitely gonna watch that soon, and probably my favorite Christmas movie of all time. But how am I blanking on the title? Bruce Willis. Oh man, how am I? Help me out, somebody. Bruce Willis Christmas movie. Uh, Die Hard. Thank you. I was about to. I was about to have a stroke. Die Hard. But yeah, I just read yesterday. Bruce Willis. He's not doing good. Which is he's one of my heroes. That's a super bummer. He's not good at all. And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I will fight you on that one. Um, Rolling with the Stones. I see my items all the time in eBay ads on Instagram. I believe eBay does that to make you think your items are being advertised when it's only you seeing it. Well, I did run into it a lot when I was selling, when I'd first done the big shoe buy. I would see those pop up all the time. But I think what happens is, and this happens especially like the eBay spam you get, where it'll be like, oh, hey, here's this item you're interested in. It's like, I'm not interested in it. I was researching it. I was comping prices. But now eBay thinks that I'm super into silverware because I've been researching silverware lately. But no, I just needed to know the price of this 1914 bullion spoon. 1 foot flipper. I have seen a brief downtick in sales every time I change a store name. Not enough to matter. Yeah, I did it a long time ago. Probably a year into reselling, but I can't imagine it's not going to mess anything up. If you have a lot of recurring, repeat buyers, it might confuse them a little bit. But I I don't. I think you'd be all good. Emily Johnson. The most frequent question I get asked is an in-depth breakdown of USPS shipping options and pricing. I'd love to have a video of yours I could send instead of attempting to explain it to new resellers. But yeah, that's a USPS specific video I think would be really good. Actually, speaking of USPS, eBay on the 1st, which to a lot of people, 28 people here, so maybe not anybody here, but I've gotten this question a lot. To the sticker sellers, patch sellers, I don't remember what else they added, but they added some more categories to the eBay standard envelope. But then in it, it says, make sure to check with your local USPS office, because I don't think eBay is checking with USPS if it's okay to send these things, because they already said you could send coins, which you 100% cannot send coins because they don't flex. Like, yes, I would do it. You could make it through and you could get by and it would work. But according to USPS rules, that's not an item that should go through first class or eBay standard envelope. But I thought that was funny that they're like, hey, we added all these items, but make sure you check with your local USPS to see if they'll actually let them go through. But for patch sellers and sticker sellers, that's awesome. I've heard people have had trouble adding it to their listings, but they'll figure that out. So really, really a big boon to those types. Oh, where am I at? Nick M. The new eBay app doesn't help. Double tap just to get to description. Okay. I did like my lost puppy face. Eddie Thrasher. Hi from a fellow Northern Michigander reseller. My wife and I have been dabbling with this for a few years. By the way, appreciate you promoting Northern Michigan, i.e. the Loon Fantastic course. Yes, it is. Actually, I ran one of their pro shops. That's how I got this for a couple years. The Lakes, which is my favorite course. I'm probably partial because I played it a bunch of times. But the Lakes is awesome. Every single hole on the course is separate from every other hole on the course. It feels so private. You can be a terrible golfer. Nobody's ever going to see you. It's really difficult, but just a fun course. But the Loon course, their main course, that one's beautiful. They actually like sift the sand every year instead of like having to hit rocks and hard spots. 1 foot flipper. I think Hilo's World is Northern Virginia. So there you go. I don't think I've heard of that one, but I wish I could get back into discovering new channels and and just watching more reseller channels. I can't. Where most people do it is they watch like in the background while they're listing, and I can't do that. I'm less productive if I'm watching a video or even listening to music. It's a bummer because it gets real boring, and I would like to do something, but I'm just more productive if it's just silence. Jan Good, over the years. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that one. I will have to check it out. Yeah, Die Hard, Die Hard, Home Alone. Home Alone is also a top tier Christmas movie. And I saw a post on like, I don't know, Facebook or something just the other day where it said Uncle Frank is an underrated movie villain. And he's really a bad human. Like Uncle Frank is a bad guy. He calls a child a little jerk. Like he cheers on Kevin's older brother for like picking on him. Like he's a really bad guy. He doesn't chip in on the food. He flies to Paris for free. He's just a mooch. Let's see. Home Alone 1, Nick M. Home Alone 1 and 2 are my faves. Home Alone 2, it's okay. I end up watching it probably once a season, but Home Alone 1 is just so good. Nip Drop Flips. What's your opinion on free shipping versus calculated? Free shipping, personally, I do free shipping on anything that used to be called first class, but anything under £1. And the reason I do it is because my wiggle room and my acceptable range of offers I would take anyways is in that under £1 range. Is that, let me slow down here. That difference in shipping costs is within an acceptable range for me. So if it gets me the sale in California or Alaska or international, it really helps on my international sales, even though I don't get a ton of them. But I would say 90% of my international sales are my first class free shippers. But it's because that wiggle room, that difference of, even on the high end, when you get into like the 15 ounces, that wiggle room of like around $1, that's still well within my range of acceptable offers I would take anyways. But anything above that, I do calculated. And then now I bought a huge lot of boat parts. And some of those, because they're multi-quantity listings, I wouldn't normally list something that is $7.99 free shipping. But because I have like 20 of them, and it's one listing and a barcode, and I don't have to clean them or anything, and I scan it, take 2 or 4, well, I'll take 4 pictures, but I'm just repeating pictures because you can only take so many pictures of a 2-sided tiny item. But those I'm doing calculated shipping, just so if it is $2.99 plus shipping, if I run a sale or somebody sends me an offer, I'll never lose out. I'll never lose money on the whole deal. But normally I only do, actually 100% of the time, no, there are rare situations. If it is a flat rate item, so if I've gone through the work of figuring out that like it's a boat part that fits in a medium flat rate and that's the best shipping I can do, I'll bake that into the price and I'll do those free shipping. Or if it's going to be in a flat rate padded envelope, I'll bake that in the price and do free shipping. Medium mail, because it's going to be exactly the same no matter where it goes, I bake that in the price and I do free shipping. But it's always either I can predetermine how much the shipping is going to be and it's never going to change, or the difference in the shipping is so small that I don't care. So I'm doing like it for the ease of the listing process, and then a little bit of the negotiation process when I'm selling to South Florida and California, which because of population, South Texas, South Florida, California, like that's a lot of market share that I would like to be a part of. And then bigger items, I just, don't end up shipping out there. And sometimes, shockingly, I still do. So I'll pay more money in shipping than the total cost of the item. That always blows my mind. I'm like, Why do it? Let's see, where are we at? Nick M, video idea, pricing strategy methods so that it doesn't become costly during a 30-50% off sale would be a good video. Okay. Pricing / sales. I don't think I would ever. I know a lot of people do like that up pricing and then run aggressive sales, and some very successful YouTube / resellers. One that comes to mind, Auction Professor. That's how he's always done it. But he is very niched. He has been doing it a long time. He has a very large customer base, a very large returning customer base. So I followed a lot of the stuff he did for a long time. But then I figured out the way he does his business is structured for his business specific, and my business doesn't look anything like his, outside of a few like random items that we might like have similarities in. And I know some other platforms that's like the way you have to. Is it Macari or Etsy? One of those where it's like that's the way you do it. Like you have to price it high and then run big sales. But for me, I've never run a sale more than 25%. And actually, the one time I ran a 25% off sale, I went through and I selected every single item that was going to be 25% off. And then I either forgot to deselect or I accidentally selected the checkbox that says like, go ahead and include all the other listings or any new listings and all of a sudden the value of my store dropped by 25%. And I went into a full panic. I was like, what? I was on the phone with eBay for like multiple hours. How do I change this? How do I do this? Can I cancel the sale immediately? Blah, blah, blah. And there's like a time period when you go to cancel a sale. And I was like, I'm going to lose a bunch of money. All my good stuff's going to sell. And I was panicking. I don't remember what I did to fix it. If you're really curious, the video exists. I don't know, but I was peeing my pants. I was really panicked. This was probably a couple years ago now, but that was not fun. William Simmons, hello. Oh, Hilo is in Christiansburg, never heard of it. 1 Foot Flipper. It has also been popping up as available in tons of other categories in the shipping options, likely an error. Yeah. Anytime eBay does something new, I'm like, I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait a couple weeks. I'll let the bugs make a way through just a little bit, so I'm not the test dummy. Eric D, if you're looking for awesome reseller YouTuber, Tip of the Mitt Flips is awesome. I heard he's pretty cool. And speaking of cool, if you guys haven't noticed, my regular logo, I now have a Christmas version donated by the Lowrys, which is, I think it's better than this one personally. But I'd thrown this out before. If anybody was like crafty or artistic, I guess would be the better word. I want to eventually have one for each like holiday / season, like have a summer one. We're just replacing the stuff inside the mitt with more summery items, or like a Halloween one would be really cool, where there's like a cobweb hanging off the Upper Peninsula, and they got more like spooky items. Maybe the mitt's more of like a skeleton hand or something like that, and just switch it out for each like major holiday or season. I think that'd just be super cool. But I love the Christmas one. Nick M, RoboCop 3 is Christmas as well. I have never seen it. I think I've only seen RoboCop 1. Fart Sack Jack. Heidi ho! How's it going, Fart Sack? Which I thought might be like a crude name, but I think it turns out that's like a military outfit type thing. Somebody I was curious about it, and somebody answered it in a previous video. Otnip drop flips. I'm getting better at saying it. Great answer. Something to think about. Yeah, and everybody that as far as the free shipping, I always tell people like take what I do, take what everyone else does, pick the pieces that work best for you and build your business model around it and always be willing to change. Always have your tap dancing shoes on. If something's not working, be willing to pivot to something else. I'm never going to be like, "Oh, this is the way you have to do it." If somebody's got a better idea or a better way, like right now, I'm trying to figure out better ways cuz what I've been doing the last month or so, I don't know, just hasn't been working because something's broken in the way I'm doing my business. My guess is it was the stuff I was listing. Um, I don't know. When I had the big Barbie buy, that stuff that was doing great, just real good. So I don't know. I just keep plugging away. I'll keep tinkering. I'll keep plugging away, and when I figure it out, you'll know, and hopefully it helps. The sister saying give the video a like. Thank you. I do appreciate it if you do. 31 people live in the video. 41 minutes in. Geesh. Where'd the time go? Let's see. Craig M. Rog. Lions at Chargers Sunday. Good test prediction. Chargers have been kind of weak this year. I think that's after a bye week. I think the Lions are going to light them up. I really do. If we could just have everybody healthy, we would crush. But I mean, we're walking into the playoffs right now. I mean, I don't want to say, oh, we're guaranteed to win the division because, you know, for some reason the Vikings just keep staying alive and things can happen. But the NFC overall isn't doing that great. So I mean, I think we're walking into the playoffs. But I would like a bye in the playoffs. That would be much better. I'd like to win the NFC. That'd be much better. See, Eric D. Got to represent the Broners for Christmas on there. Yeah, yeah. Broners. That's the big Christmas place in Christmas, right? Christmas, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Andy so meta. I'm exuberant, Mike. I even said your name. Eric D. Lions by 10. Yeah, that's probably a good prediction. Lions have, because I am into sports gambling, Lions have covered the spread more than any team over the last 6 seasons or something, like something insane, which that doesn't mean they win those games. It just means they do better than Vegas expected them to. Jody Cardinal, come on 9. If you are slacking, hit the like. Sometimes those likes, because I got it says 22 on my side. Sometimes they don't update on your own screen, but I do appreciate when people try to encourage other people to hit the like. It is super helpful. Let's see. Oh, it's a bed sleeping bag. Nip drop flips. Have to run. Take care, everyone. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in. I really do. Fart Sack Jack, I was watching Mod and Pop. He's a busy fella. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm doing something wrong because you got people like Mod and Pop who had a huge sales weekend in his newest video on top of his 6th child. I can't imagine it. Why didn't we go after Chase Young for 3rd place? Yeah, right. Let's see. Terry, Laurie, Bronner's, and Frankenmuth. Thank you. Yes, Frankenmuth. But yeah, Bronner's, it's like a year-round, and it's a huge Christmas store. Or is it? I've never been. I mean, I don't do a lot of things. I used to, but I would always if I'm gonna go do a thing, I would travel out of state or go on a big vacation or whatever. But Bronner's isn't even that far from me, and I've actually never been. And I've also lived in Mount Pleasant and Gaylord, which kind of sandwich around it. It's still never been. Vintage Vani. I'm going to say Vani, but I'm guessing. Hey, hello, everybody. Hello, Vintage Vani. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Eric D, same as Greta Van Fleet from Frankenmuth. Oh, don't get me started on fake Led Zeppelin, which they're pretty cool kids. You know, they made okay music, but they swore that Led Zeppelin wasn't an influence. Come on, come on. You like stealing their all the way down to their outfits. That's ridiculous. All right, well, I'll ask one more time. If anybody has any how-to video ideas or ones that they would like to have, I'm going to start making some pretty soon. So either drop them in the comments here today or drop them in the comments of any video, and I'll get around to them at some point. But like I said, I have been sitting in this chair since 8 o'clock, and we're getting close to 7 o'clock right now. So my butt is numb. So I am going to cut it pretty short today. So unless, Yvonne, I just dropped the, oh, it's Yvonne, Vintage Yvonne. Okay. Well, I'll try to remember that for next time. That is, my memory is not the best. But yes, Eric D, total Zeppelin cover band. And they write their own music. The front man, he's got a great voice. But to say you didn't have them as an influence, come on, you're not fooling anybody. But I'm gonna cut out here, I think, unless anybody's got some pertinent questions. I appreciate everyone who drops in. And it seems like Mondays are going to be the day I do a live. I am eventually going to get around to doing like a midday list with me type of live. I don't know when those will start. That's how long did it take me to start doing lives, period? Years. So we'll get around to that at some point. Dark Toilet video on how to disconnect yourself emotionally from your inventory. Just bought a Knight Rider, KARR, and I'm struggling to let it go. Yeah, that's why I have, I guess for me, that's why I have like a display area, but I'll still put stuff up there that is listed. Because then at least for a little while, I get to like look at it and like kind of it's mine and it's in the background. But yeah, just buying cool things that you're like, man, I want to keep this. I would like this. That happened to me. I busted out my old Turtles collection and I sold 0 of it. I couldn't do it. I sold a bunch of other stuff, all my He-Man, every other like random toy I had. But the Turtle stuff, I just put it back in storage. It's like, I'll get back to that some other time. I couldn't part with it. Eric D, I could go for a video on box resizing. That's one I want to do. I love so much resizing boxes. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. The better you get at it, like the feeling you get when you turn a certain shape or size box into like a perfect other shape or size, and it still looks like it's like a box from the factory. I get so much joy out of that. But yeah, box resizing. I think what I'm going to do is make a super long one where I resize in multiple ways, and then I will cut it into individual, maybe even shorts, where it's like, this is how you resize a USPS number 7. This is how you resize a USPS like 1409, like every specific box, and I'll make them into shorts, and I'll have a long video where it goes over like all the general ideas. I think that's my plan. See how that works out when it happens. Yes, like Yvonne. So Vintage Yvonne. Yvonne. I like that name. 1 Foot Flipper. They are reprinting there's like a thing over top of the bottom there. Oh, the TMNT RPG. Yeah, I saw that on I don't know. I saw it on a channel the other day. Yeah, there's like a little icon in the corner, so I can never read like the little bit. Have you played it before? Is it any good? I would hate to get excited about it and then play it and it's trash, but I did play in a campaign one time where somebody played as a turtle and basically was Donatello. They were what's it called? Tinkerer. It's not Tinkerer, but you know what I mean. But they played a turtle person, Tinkerer. Fart Sack Jack, I used to build my own boxes years ago. I sold bicycles and parts for years. Sent Frey and forks through the PO wheel sets, giant 8 bars, all through post office that didn't last long. Yeah, I actually, if the boat parts buy didn't happen, I was going to go look at a bike parts buy. There was like a bike. I don't know if it was a shop going out of business, but they had a full shop. It might have just been a guy that like repaired from his house in like a garage, but he had a full inventory. They were asking like $3,000 for it. I did a little price comping because it was like new and packaged, vintage Schwinn handlebars and fenders and all kinds of stuff. But it was going to take up my entire storage unit. So it was going to be a huge shift in what I was selling. It was going to be a huge commitment. Again, all long tail. Because yes, the like the dollar values was there, but you know, how often does someone specifically look for the fender for the specific vintage bike? And according to eBay and Terapeak, it's not very often. I could have like taken over the market on it, but it would have been locking up basically my entire storage unit. Plus, I would have had to order a bunch of custom boxes so that I wasn't having to resize for every single one. But I'm glad I didn't do it. I would have had to probably rent a U-Haul just to get it home because it was a couple towns over. It has some really good supplements. What I'll do is I'll try to talk some of my RPG friends into somebody else buying it, and then I can use it. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you to the new faces this time. That's super cool. Mondays around 6 is usually when I do lives. But I definitely I can't. My butt is numb. I can't stay here anymore. I'm getting a little antsy just being here for the whole day. And actually, Old School Flips, how's it going? We did hit. I forgot to even mention we did hit 2,900 subscribers plus a bunch more from that short that took off for me. So next video, which is Wednesday. Let's see, Monday. Yeah, so Wednesday will be the next video. There will be a subscriber giveaway in that video. So if you want to get entered, make sure you watch Wednesday's video, and then the winner will be in the next video, which will probably be Friday. So appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you at the next one. Yes, go Lions. And they're normally longer than this, but like I said, I just can't sit here anymore. Yes, hit the bell. Oh, you'll hit the bell. Yeah, so make sure you get into that next one. You'll get, if you win, you get a Tip of the Mip Flips merch bundle, and then you get some money to spend in my store, which the next subscriber giveaway after that one will be the 3,000 subscriber giveaway, which will be a much bigger giveaway. So also maybe get some people to subscribe, and then we'll jump to that next one. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in.